Every time we walk into a supermarket, we are bombarded with choices, yet in some ways our options are more limited than ever before. In everything from detergent to bread, palm oil is one of the most widely used vegetable oils in the world. The prevalence of unsustainable palm oil production, however, poses a serious threat to the environment through pollution from poor waste management practices, loss of local biodiversity, and deforestation. So where does this waste come from? Palm oil comes from processing both the pulp and the kernel resting in the nut, breaking down the fruit, and separating its various components. The extraction process produces approximately 3 tons of palm oil mill effluent, or POM, for every ton of palm oil. Untreated POM dumped into bodies of water depletes the oxygen supply as it biodegrades, and this oxygen depletion kills many aquatic organisms. POM also produces large amounts of greenhouse gases, and its high acidity can even affect soil fertility. While POM is a significant environmental concern, the greatest direct threat to the environment are the practices of palm tree plantations. The plight of Sumatran wildlife in Indonesia, particularly the critically endangered Sumatran elephant, orangutan, rhino, and tiger, illustrate the impact of these practices. Sumatra is the only place in the world where elephants, orangutans, rhinos, and tigers all live together, but each species faces the threat of extinction in the near future from habitat loss caused by deforestation. In Indonesia, one of the world's largest palm oil producers, deforestation between 1990 and 2005 accounted for 56% or more of palm oil expansion. 1.7 million hectares of vibrant rainforest were replaced with monoculture, fields upon fields of palm trees, treated with pesticides and fertilizers polluting the surrounding environment. These palm fields contain only 15% of the species found in primary forest, a huge loss of biodiversity. The Sumatran elephant, orangutan, rhino, and tiger cannot survive in these areas and are forced into smaller, fragmented habitats. Most remaining individuals live in unprotected forest, which will probably be converted into palm oil plantations without preventative action. Besides biodiversity, another concern is the enormous amount of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere from clearing rainforest and peat swamps. Rainforests and peat swamps are important carbon sinks whose prevention has been identified as essential to mitigating the effects of climate change. One study found that without policy changes, Indonesia's palm oil industry's carbon dioxide emissions between 2010 and 2020 will reach 558 million metric tons, more than the annual emissions of Canada. In a world increasingly affected by global warming, releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere will only harm the well-being of our entire planet. While the situation seems bleak, there are actions you can take to reduce the impact of palm oil production on the environment. The Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil gives certification to palm oil producers who use land with little biodiversity, wildlife habitat, or other environmental value. Their product must also meet certain environmental, economic, and social standards to qualify as certified sustainable palm oil. You can choose to buy certified sustainable palm oil products or ask companies to start using certified palm oil. Working with these companies to establish a sustainable supply chain is important because palm oil is actually a relatively efficient crop. Other vegetable oils use up to 9 times as much land to produce the same amount of oil. By choosing to purchase certified sustainable palm oil products and asking companies about their sourcing practices, you can support an accountable and sustainable supply chain for the survival of Sumatran wildlife and the health of our planet.